This is from Sammy Davis Jr.'s book, Why Me, page 208. I drove over to my house into my circular driveway that didn't have any bikes in it. There was nothing to go into the house for. I continued around the driveway, out and over to the factory, a disco that I had a piece of. I ran into a bunch of young actors I knew. One of them said to me, "Hey man, there's a party. Want to go?" Each of them had one fingernail painted red, an inside thing among the Satanists to identify themselves to each other. I was curious. Evil fascinated me. I felt it lying in wait for me, and I wanted to taste it. I was ready to accept the wildness, the rolling in the gutter, and having to get up the next morning and wash myself clean. Whenever I had been a bit of Dorian Gray, I'd looked at myself in the mirror, and it was, heh heh, I got away with that. Now, what lies ahead today? The party was in a large old house up in the hills, and they were all wearing hoods and or masks. They had a naked girl stretched out and chained to a red velvet covered altar. I played it cool. "Hey, what is this? We're Satanists." "Oh, this is a coven." "Right. This chick's going to be sacrificed." I read enough about it to know that they weren't Satanists. They were bullshit artists, and they'd found an exotic way they could ball each other and have an orgy and get stoned. It was all fun and games and Dungeons and Dragons and debauchery, and as long as the chick was happy and wasn't really going to get anything sharper than a dildo stuck in her, I wasn't going to walk away from it. One of the leaders of the group tilted his hood back to show me his face. It was a good friend of mine, Jay Sebring, my barber, who'd become famous in Hollywood. I'd always known Jay was a little weird. He had a dungeon in his house, and he'd say, "You've got to come over, man. See what I got downstairs. I've got some real antique pieces." "Yeah, Jay, I'll be over." Never, I never went there, but we were friends and often went to the same parties. The following week, I was playing San Francisco and I met Anton LaVey, the head of the Church of Satan, who warned me, "Don't get involved with this unless you really want to commit yourself to something." Oh, really? First of all, I wanted to have every human experience, and secondly, all someone had to tell me was don't do it, so I had to do it. I came back from San Francisco with one finger nail painted red. It was weird and freaky. Notoriety when it's a giggle is fun. I enjoyed wearing the mysterious red fingernail. It was bodacious and shocking, and I wanted people to know I could get away with it. Murphy asked me, "What's the red fingernail?" Never mind. I wore it every day on the street, even on network television. Whoever didn't know what it meant didn't question it. Probably people thought, here's a cat who wears beads, Nehru's, golden blonde embroidered dashikis. Why not one fingernail painted red? Occasionally, someone would understand and ask, "Are you into Satanism?" I played it Mysterio, so, well, I've read about it. It was a turn on. The chicks loved it. In my total most swinging mood, in the back of my mind, no matter how gin soaked or vodka sopped it is, I always have an awareness of danger. I fought it with I don't give a damn bravado, wanting to see how far the rubber band could stretch. How could I tempt fate? How could close to the edge I could go and still come back? But something inside always told me too far, and I knew not to take that extra step. One morning after a coven that wasn't quite fun games, without anyone telling me to, I got some nail polish remover and took off the red fingernail. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, shows you right here. One of the leaders of the group tilted his hood back to show me his face. It was a good friend of mine, Jay Sebring, my barber. So he's a leader of this satanic group. But he's saying, they weren't really satanic, that they were just about having sex and whatever. Then a week later, LeVay's like, are you sure you want to do this? But, and what's funny is the whole Anton LaVey thing is they don't actually worship Satan. It's fucking stupid. But anyway, yeah, so all these people that talk about Manson and they want to overlook the occult stuff, the Satanist stuff. I mean, it's documented, it's fact, and that's why they're gatekeepers. They don't want to. Why not entertain this idea? Why can't people talk about it? Whenever I go in their chat rooms, and I ask questions about, what about Sharon Tate? She was a witch. What initiated as a witch after she did that witch movie, right? And she went out with Jay Sebring, who was a high-level Satanist. She knew about it, and then the video I made before this, Sammy Davis said they're all Satanists, and he included Sharon Tate. So, um, why do why do a lot of Manson channels want to like say, oh, there's nothing about the occult, there's nothing in Satanism, there's no rituals, it wasn't a ritual, you know what I mean? It's like, like, why are you gatekeeping, fool? Why can't we talk about this shit? Why do you got to be controlling all this information? What's up?